Welcome back. In this part, we'll lay out our city's road network and cover how to use the road tools and road modules in CityBLD. When we left off in the last part, we had just drawn our highways. Let's switch over to the road tool and start drawing the same way. I'll go with the 2-lane with sidewalks preset and leave these settings at the default for now. This tool lets us create sharp corners rather than smooth curves like the highways. I'll create a little loop to show you how it looks. We can see here that we get grass overlapping the road. We'll fix this by setting it up to paint a different layer as we draw. I'll enable Align to Landscape and choose a layer that doesn't spawn grass. If we set it to affect our main landscape layer, it'll also sculpt the terrain to align to the road. In this case, I want a bit more control over it, so I'll go ahead and create a new Paint Only Edit layer. I'll set the alpha to 0 so the sculpt is unaffected. Now let's switch back over to CityBLD and set it to use our new Paint Only layer. With that set up, we're ready to start laying down our roads. The first thing I want to do here is add our main arterial road. This will be a wider road that stretches across the entire city and connects to the highways. I'll go with the 4-lane preset for this one. I'll start drawing near the water here and go across the peninsula. If we hold down Alt, we can snap our roads to a guiding line and keep them perfectly straight as we draw. Here we'll need a bridge. Just like with the highways, we can do this by scrolling up on the mouse wheel and CityBLD will take care of the rest. We'll want to make sure the offset amount on the left is staying 0 while we're bringing our brush back down. If it's below 0, the road will disappear under the terrain. I'll bring this out by the water and we're done with this road. Now let's run our road all the way along our waterfront here. This time we're going to want to use our main edit layer, so the road can actually sculpt the terrain now. Start drawing at the edge of our downtown area here. If you hold down Shift, it'll draw curves instead of sharp corners. Now that we have the waterfront road, let's connect it to our main road. With the new road in place, let's cut away the extra terrain so the road is right on the water. I'll use the flatten tool and bring the height just below the water surface. Now you'll notice a new issue. The road has no edge. We need to add an additional wall to this side of the road. We can do that by linking a road module to the right hand side here. Let's switch over to the road modules tab and clear the old modules out. The sidewalks are both modules, so this operation removes them. Here we need to choose the right facing sidewalk module and add it in manually on the right hand edge. Okay, now let's add a key module on this side as well. This builds on top of a road and sidewalk and adds a fully detailed key with 0 extra work on our part. The road is a bit higher than the module, so I'll go to the origin and raise both the sidewalk and our key. With that aligned, we'll move on, but we can always come back and add new props to spawn, new road modules, or swap out the shapes completely. We'll also need to add these along intersections. There's no right or left side, but in CityBLD, intersection edges are always treated as left edges. Now we have them on all sides, so we'll want to unlink the modules using this button. This prevents them from updating along with the roads, so we can safely delete them. I'll add our last main road along the opposite coast. I'll start out using sharp corners and then switch to curved as I draw. We'll connect this with the rest of our main roads, and then we'll be done with this stage. If we ever get a spot where the road isn't completely straight, we can always adjust the spline points by grabbing the white handles. With our main roads done, let's switch to a smaller preset and start drawing the denser roads in our city. This time we won't be aligning the sculpt layer, so we'll get some overlap in spots. This is pretty easy to clean up later on. The rest of this process takes about 10 minutes for a mid-sized city. I'm just repeating the exact same techniques we've already covered. Let's go back to our highway off-ramp and get it connected to our street network. We use the highway connector preset, which will match the scale and the material used by the highways. I'll make an intersection here and start drawing towards the ramp. When this blue dot appears, it means we can snap to that point. This will automatically align our highway and the highway connector preset that we just drew. I do the same thing for another ramp to take us back onto the highway. I'll also fill in some more details on the opposite side of the highway. Now we need to do some quick cleanup in the sculpt tool. I'll turn the strength down, increase the fall off, and very lightly nudge the terrain to get it beneath our road. Three minutes later, we're already done our road network. This gives us a great base to start generating buildings or just the prop spawn to add more detail. If we zoom in, we'll see that the generated meshes and included materials are already production quality. Later on, we'll add decals, damage, turn lanes, and new props to our roads. For now though, we'll move on to buildings. I'll see you in part 4.